Hi students, we are learning about the water bodies. Last class we have learned about the saline water bodies. Today we can start learning about the fresh water bodies with the journey of a river. This picture shows the course of a river. That means a river originates from the mountain and it flow towards a sea or ocean or towards a large lake. So the path of the river from the origin to its end means it is the mouth of the river. That path is named as a course of a river. So here a course of a river is shown in this picture. Okay. So now let us study about the different stages of the course of the river. So the river that originate from the mountains. How rivers originate from there? Because of the melting of the glaciers or from a spring or due to the rainwater, the river starts its journey or rise from the mountains. Here from the mountains they are moving through the hard rocks. Slope of the land will be very steep. Because of that the speed of the flow of the river it will be very fast. Then here you can find a stream, small streams are forming here and they are lead to form the large river. So these streams are named as tributaries. They feed the main river. When the river is flowing through the hard rocks, that leads to the formation of waterfall. So here water is falling from high altitude to low altitude. The difference between top and bottom it will be high. That's why it is named as a waterfall. So river actually it erode the soil or rock particles on its way. But sometimes it will be difficult for the river to erode or denude the soil or rock particles because of the hard rocks. So that leads to the formation of waterfalls. Now, some regions, the erosional activities of the water that leads to the formation of large, deep valleys. Such valleys are named as gorges. So gorges are forming by the erosional activities of the rivers. Sometimes the rivers will be very deeper like a Grand Canyon in North American continent which is formed by the Colorado River. Sometimes it will be very longer like which is formed by the Brahmaputra in the Himalayan region. So they are eye-shaped valleys because they have a vertical down cutting. Then another type of V-shaped valleys. They are also named as gorges or canyons. They are formed by the erosional activities of the river. They are very deep valleys. Then the river continuing in its way or course. That time again there will be some hard rocks that leads to the formation of rapids. Here the difference between top and bottom of this fall of the water that is less, that leads to the formation of rapids. If it is present continuously it is named as cascades. These are some obstacles on the course or flow of the river. And this part of the river that is named as upper course of the river, and here the river is flowing rapidly. It erode large amount of rock particles. So this part of the river it is named as a young stage of the river. After that slowly the river will enter into a plain terrain. In the plain terrain the river starts to deposit the soil in one part, other part it start erosional activities. So here this meandering feature, in the first chapter we learned about the course of the river. That time we learned about the meandering feature of the river. So this curved pattern that is named as a meandering. It is related with the plain terrain through which the river is flowing. And depositional activity starts here because of the plain nature. So the speed of the river that reduces, that leads to the depositional activity. But in the rainy season, the water carrying by the river, it will be very large. That time floods occur. That floods will lead to the depositional feature as well as erosional activities. So here you can find one water body. It is a lake. Actually this river was flowing through that area, but occurrence of flood and deposition of large amount of soil in between these river lead to the formation of a lake. That means this water body is separated from the main river. So this lake is named as Oxbow Lake because it is having the shape of ox's bow. So here this part of the river course, it is the middle course of the river. Otherwise we can say maturity stage of the river. The soil found along this region, it is very fertile because at the time of flood, large amount of minerals depositing in this area. So here it is cultivation, farming activity will be the major occupation of the people. These are very rich fertile soil. So this region will give a large productivity from any type of crop. So the soil which is found here, they are named as alluvial soil. The plains formed by the deposition of alluvial soil is named as alluvial plains. That also we have learned in the previous chapter. And these plains are also named as flood plains because they are formed by the occurrence of flood in every monsoon season. After that, after flowing through the plain terrain, the river enter into its lower course. Lower course means the stage where the river going to empty its water into a ocean or a lake or a sea. So the lower course, you can see here, there are number of river channels that lead to the formation of river islands. This also related to the occurrence of floods only. So here this stage means the lower stage or the old stage of the river. Main activity of the river is to deposit the soil which is brought by from the mountainous region onwards. Because of the depositional activity, by deposition taking place, there is a large load carrying by the river and the terrain is very flat in nature. So the speed of the river will decrease. That lead to the depositional activities. That's why the river is splitting into number of distributaries. And these river islands are forming because of the deposition of the soil. So do you know which is the larger river island in the world? Which river forming it? Yes, Brahmaputra river that forms the largest river island. It is located in Assam. It is named as Majuli. After that, these distributaries, these channels are named as distributaries. They empty the water into seas. That time they form a new landform. It is named as a delta. It is having a triangle shape. That's why it is named as a delta. But all rivers will not form deltas. Some rivers, they have a very short distance course. Means they will be flowing from a mountain to the sea for a very short distance. That time they will not form any deltas. They are directly enter into the seas or oceans. That open mouth of the river towards the sea, it is named as estuary. So some rivers will form estuary, some rivers will form deltas. So delta, do you know which is the largest delta in the world? It is formed by the Brahmaputra and Ganga river. It's named as Sundarbans Delta. is located in Bangladesh and in the West Bengal region of India. So Sundarban Delta, it is having the large mangrove forest. Mangrove forest, and here we can find a very large ecosystem. One of the largest varieties of species of trees, birds, plants we can find in the Sundarbans Delta. The Royal Bengal tiger, then olive red turtles, river dolphins, all these we can find in the Sundarbans Delta region. Do you know how this delta got that name? There is a large number of Sundari trees. Because of that only Sundarban Delta got that name. And river Nile, that also forms a large delta in its mouth. Means river Nile is flowing through Egypt. It is the longest river in the world that forms a large delta along the Mediterranean coast. So this is about the course of the river.